Because you niggas think this shit is a game, right? So, you know, really, in reality, we ain't tripping. In reality, so y'all come on with the come on, my nigga. Y'all come on with the come on, my nigga.
What the fuck's that?
That's my lucky crack pipe.
You a crazy motherfucker.
You don't have a lucky crack pipe?
Come on, my nigga. Come on with the come on, my nigga. And we got many more. We only got 2 hands. We can't hold everything. Gonna teach you motherfucking niggas a lesson. This is one of the many cases. You wanna keep playing? You wanna keep playing, my nigga? You wanna keep playing, my nigga? Come on with it.
My lucky crack pipe.
You wanna keep playing, my nigga?
You don't have a lucky crack pipe?
This shit is real, my nigga.
The thing about it is that black unity can't mean that you accept any sort of poison that comes into the community. Sometimes you gotta deal with situations or people that are really disruptive. And here's the thing, the common denominator, this is for people who have logic. You know, I want you to logically think about this. When somebody is beefing with every single person, the common denominator is you. If you're fighting with everybody, you're the common denominator. And so the thing is that while I knew that Tariq had his issues with Umar, and even back then when he issued that official sounding statement, I remember I said to one of my friends, I said, or my manager at the time, I said, yeah, I think something's up with him and Umar. Because why would you not put Umar in your movie? Umar's great, you know, on screen. He's been in Raheem Shabaz's movies, done a great job. And I've been, you know, the Elementary Genocide series that Raheem Shabazz did, very good series. Everybody should check it out. Umar was extraordinary in those films, and I was always happy to be in the film with him. I would have hired him to be in my movies, you know, if he'd have had enough sense to pick up the phone and not decide that he hated everybody like from day zero. So I saw this very strange paranoia coming out of that, and I thought Tariq was just gonna stay silent forever. I didn't think Tariq was really gonna burst it out. And so, you know, I will say that I don't think anybody wins when this kind of thing happens. I think it's kind of sad too as well. I was looking at some of the comments. I think a lot of people just didn't understand. They're like, man, why would you do this? That's another black man. Why would you diss another black man? And the thing is that we have no problem dissing another black man if he's like a Republican. Like, what if it was Sheriff David Clark? Or what if it was Dr. Ben Carson? Or what if it was Omarosa and her old cooning ass? Like people would have no problem dissing Omarosa. So if you think that staying on code means never dissing another black person in public, then shit. Then that means every black person should be okay. Like, we should just bring in Uncle Ruckus. Every Uncle Ruckus in the world should be able to just say what they want with impunity. Well, no, we don't believe it. You know, the code only goes so far. The code only goes so far. Unity doesn't mean, here's 2 things it doesn't mean. Number one, it doesn't mean every black person always agrees and always gets along. You need diversity of perspective so you can have the best ideas emerge. You can have unity and still have dissension, have disagreement, have debate. The third thing, or excuse me, the next thing on the list is that unity does not mean that you co-sign on any black person just because they're black. Every person with brown skin ain't your motherfucking friend. Just because they black does not mean they got your back. You know, so at the end of the day, this is not a black community, black conscious civil war. The civil war is everybody on one side, Umar Johnson by himself on the other. That's what the civil war is. There is no like great divide, no great debate. Because I'm gonna tell you the goddamn truth. When you get prominent or public figures together that have all worked with Tariq and worked with Umar, the conversations are not pretty. I have gotten multiple calls, phone calls, long conversations in private with people who have been like, what the hell is going on with this guy? Like we were at the church and this happened and he cussed out everybody at the church. And I never told you guys about the church incident because I was waiting for somebody who was there to talk about it. I don't really want to get into that because I was already getting enough heat back from people saying, well, you should never speak negatively on another black man in public. Who would spend, what black man spends that much time talking about another black man? And I was like, people are just not going to understand. So I don't even want to even talk about it because they won't get it. But I'm going to tell you, there was a church incident in DC where Umar was one of the speakers, and this is elders. These are respected elders. I'm talking about people like the Rock Newmans and the Carl Nelsons and Anthony Browder was there, and some other people. I'm talking about respected OGs in the game, like people that really hold it down for the black community and were holding it down when everybody watching this live stream was in diapers. When all of y'all were in diapers, when half of y'all wasn't even thought of yet, these guys and these women were holding down the black community. And at this event, Umar gets upset because he arrived late. He was supposed to speak at whatever time it was. He gets there late. He's pissed because they moved on without him. He's cussing, acting a fool, and there's a major confrontation that happens backstage where there's almost a fist fight between one of the elders and Umar. And I'm like, what is this shit? Like this, if this don't make us look like a bunch of pack of crazy coons, I don't know what does. But here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to understand. You know, these people, they've been showing respect to each other. I mean, these are the people that roll with Francis Cress Welsing. These are the people that roll with those who laid the foundation. You know, they didn't behave like, they didn't have this kind of stuff happen like on a regular basis back in the day, unless it was like maybe somebody who was an agent planted in the community just to create disruption. You say, if you can't respect the code, if you can't respect what we're trying to do, then you don't need to be here. Go find another community to violate and to exploit. You can't do that here. And if you don't think that Umar has been exploiting people with that whole thing with the school, and then turn around and blaming black people because they're questioning his license, blaming black people because they shut down his accounts, blaming black people because he's got all these other problems, then if you can't see where that's an issue and where that is an extreme amount of exploitation and really just kind of dastardly, sick, undisciplined, irresponsible behavior, then I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say. You know, I'll keep going deeper. When I think about the calls I've gotten over Umar over the years, you know, the calls consisted of prominent, respected people that you guys know about. I can say their names and you know exactly who I was talking about, who called and said, I don't understand what's going on. I tried my best to be nice to that guy and he hung up on me. Or I wanted to have a 20-minute conversation with him, and he told me he wasn't even going to talk to me unless I paid him some money. Or I'm not, or this guy, you know, so it's come from so-called prominent leaders, if you want to call them that. Also, community activists. I'm talking about people that rode with him hard. I'm talking about people who run communities in the RGB space, RBG space, that literally, where they literally have hundreds of thousands of people at their back, like people that have been ride or die in that space, who are as conscious as you can get, who literally have said, yeah, man, I used to really ride with that dude, but I don't know what's going on with him. You know, he was on the radio saying he ain't going to do no more of these cheap speaking engagements and that people are taking advantage of him and that he's not going to let them get him for so much money. They need to pay up because he's the most respected, blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking about people that were really hardcore supporters, like people that paid him when nobody knew who he was. That's the funny thing. When you have people that hooked you up and took care of you when nobody knew who you were, and then you become somebody and you act like those people don't exist. What I said was to my brother, I said, you know what we could do is, I said, we should, somebody said, shut the fuck up and prove it, Boyce. That's right. I'm about to shut the fuck up and prove it. I said, let's put our money where our mouth is. So what I want to announce to you guys right now is anybody you know that has an African-centered school, my goal is to support schools that are already in existence, as opposed to us all sort of sitting around and living off a hope and a prayer of some school that may or may not exist that costs $1 trillion to build. Let's support those little $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 schools that are already out there. You know, let's find ways to raise money so that these schools can grow and evolve. And I talked to Jay Morrison about it today, kind of man to man. Jay's a real balanced, measured person, an extraordinary leader. And one of the things that we discussed were avenues to help the community raise funds for businesses, for schools, for things that they want to do. And I'm going to announce more of that later as we sort of iron out those details. But one of the things I'm willing to do is I will write a check. I will write a $5,000 check to someone who runs an African-centered school that can use an extra $5,000 to pay a few bills. I wish it could be a bigger check, and eventually I will write bigger checks once we raise more money and we set a more structure here. But for now, if you email, you can send your information over to staff@boycewatkins.com. That's staff@boycewatkins.com. If you send it to staff@boycewatkins.com, I have my assistant. She's checking those emails. Send information about your school. If you want, you can even send a link to a video about your school, some information, just, nothing too complex, but some bullet points, where your school's located, how many students you have, just some things that, some financial information if you want to kind of let us know what you would do with the money. And we will pick a school. And I really want to see if I can do this every month or every quarter. Literally, I will write a check. My name will be on that check, and I will write a $5,000 check to an African-centered school to show you that I want to do more building than destroying, because I can understand how all of this was probably a little bit concerning for some people. We can't really be promoting schools that don't exist yet, because you have a community that has been lied to so many times and gotten pimped really by people promising and fantasizing and selling you a dream that ain't real, selling you some stuff that ain't never gonna happen. So I need people that are really doing the work. Show me some pictures of the babies in the school learning. Show me video of the rooms in the buildings. There was one school in Atlanta I visited. I don't remember the name of that school, but that's going to be a school that I want to help. So if you don't get the money, that's okay. I can still help you out. We've actually got interviewers now that we've just brought in to interview people on my YouTube channel, which has about 250,000 Black subscribers. So it's a very high quality audience. It's not just 250,000 random people. They're mostly Black. I get more exposure to the Black community on my YouTube channel than I get when I go on CNN. That's why you don't see me on CNN as much, because I don't really need any of that stuff anymore. We have our own media. So what I can do is have you interviewed about your school. You can tell the world about your school. And if you have a link where people can make donations to your school, I encourage everybody who donated to Umar's school, donate to some of these other schools too. Fine. Okay, you wrote a check to Umar for $50 or whatever. That's cool. Good. Charge it to the game. It is what it is. Now go write a $50 check to that African Center School in Florida that nobody knows about. Write a check to that, the Amani School in Columbus, Ohio. Write a check to that school in Atlanta that's having trouble trying to, pay the light bill this month. Write your checks to them too. And I encourage those of you who run these schools, get set up so when you come into the platform space, make sure you're set up to receive donations. So be able to have a URL people can go to, a link, a PayPal, whatever it is, where you can give people a simple URL, visit the imanischool.com and go there and make a donation. Because and those of you who believe in this, who don't run a school, write a little, send them a little bit of money. Let's help them out. Let's do it together. And I'll be the first one to write the check. Like I said, the first 5,000 will come out of my bank account. The check will have my name on it. It will come right from me. And eventually I want to get those checks. I want to make those checks bigger. The rest I'm hoping will come from the community. And that's my gesture really. That's really guilt talking to a point, in the sense that I feel very, very guilty for addressing this issue like this. But I don't feel so guilty that I don't believe it's the right thing to do. Because I'm conflicted about whether or not I should even talk about it. But I follow my spirit, and my spirit told me, Boyce, you need to open your damn mouth, because you ain't gonna leave your brother Tariq out there just to get ate up by people who think he's off code for no reason. So that's it. That's it, everybody. It was nice talking to you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. And Jim has blind face said, will you create a list of the schools? Absolutely, we can certainly do that. We can even use volunteers. Maybe there's a way we can actually have people that can help us kind of document and keep up with all that. Because there are a lot of these schools out here. I mean, think about this. Imagine if we were able to raise a couple $1 million. Instead of giving a couple $1 million to one person, we give a couple $1 million to a bunch of different schools. It's what was it? It's like Bitcoin. Like, the reason Bitcoin and crypto came into existence is because people did not want money and the power of money to be centralized. They didn't want one person or one entity controlling the money supply. So you have in crypto, you have decentralization, where the money is controlled by a lot of people. So in this case, I think it should be the same thing. Next time we raise $2 million as a community, let's raise it in a way where the funds are going to be broadly dispersed. I'll bring the people on the channel and they give their information. You can make a donation. It ain't even got to go through me. You go right to them, and you're donating to schools that you know are real.
We're going to talk about the melanoid community. I really want to focus on that and their relationship to the Umoist types that's out here. You dig? So that's really what I want to focus on. We're going to talk a little bit about Umoist, a.k.a. Papa, a.k.a. the prince or the pimp of PayPal, because that's what Papa means. It's the pimp of PayPal. What's up, Coon Raider? You say, why Tariq have all-white film crew? Well, that's what Umoist is using crispy talking points. Umoist is desperate, and that's why I almost feel pity for him to a certain degree. I mean, his comebacks now are just real weak, and it's like, okay. And people are like, hey, you're abusing him now, Tariq. People are like, oh, you're abusing him at this point. And I get it. He posted some real weak fucking comebacks. He posted some shit that I posted on my page where I'm clowning myself about my, when I had the fucked up haircut in the UK. he's posting that like that's a clap back. I'm like, okay, he's run out of steam now. So now it's just beating up on a corpse at this point. You dig? Yeah, you don't have to mention Crispy. Of course, Crispy is gonna try to, get some hits on his damn page. Of course, I mean that's what a Crispy Coon will do. But Umoist, the pimp of PayPal, he's using crispy talking points. Why are you calling somebody crispy because of their skin? That's a crispy talking point. Umoist, you were talking about somebody's skin. I'm not talking about nobody's skin. I'm just talking about an ashy bitch nigga. But if I was, you couldn't do shit about it but whine. You dig? But Umoist, you were talking about Sarah Sutin-Setty's skin. You called the man an albino, midget, and all this old bullshit. You were talking about that man's skin. You got that color thing going on, that color hatred thing going on. That's probably why Umar got some shit, a lot of bad blood between him and his dad. His dad's a light-skinned dude with light eyes, and shout out to Sir Johnson the Elder. He seems like a very good dude. That might have something to do with it. But I digress. And I got my Freeway shirt on. Shout out to Freeway Rick. Shout out to Rick. I gotta have Freeway Rick on Ism Radio pretty soon. Man. But that whole talking point, you hired white people to work for you. First of all, when we did the first Hidden Colors, both my cameramen were black. As a matter of fact, when we did the first Hidden Colors, Ron Johnson was the brother who filmed when I filmed Umar. Ron Johnson is black. Richard Hillary, my other camera guy who traveled all around with me, he's black. So black people did most of the filming for Hidden Colors 1. We got one guy in Cincinnati, locally, because I filmed Shahrazad Ali out there. But that's neither here nor there. These are just deflections, by the way. They're looking for anything. So this is just, whatever. I don't even have to dignify no stupid shit like that. But the thing is, and I'm going to talk about business tomorrow on Dr. Boyce's program. What's up, Ola? We got Ola in the house. See, all of these are deflections. These are deflections. Because I want to talk about business and how to run businesses. And we're going to talk about that on the business school with Dr. Boyce Watkins tomorrow. But for the record, I do hire black and white people. And the operative word is, or the operative phrase is work for me. I don't work for them. You're going to either have people in the dominant society make you work for them, or they're going to work for you. There's two things. You're going to work for them, or they're going to work for you. I want them to work for me, if it's going to be that type of exchange. But we're going to discuss all that. We're going to discuss that part of business tomorrow. I want black folks to really tune in to really get that game. Umoist Johnson, and you can tell by the dusty nigga talking points that he used. Ain't no black folks. That's a nigga who has never, ever, ever, ever run a legitimate business. That's dusty ass nigga talk. When you talk about, that's that shit like in Do the Right Thing. You looking at the wall. Hey, come, ain't no black folks on your wall. That's just dusty ass nigga talk. Where's the school? See, always go back to where's that damn school? Where's the fucking school? Where's the school? Where is the school? You dig? What's up, Buffalo Soldier? I see you trolling. Umar Johnson. The reason why, and I'm going to get on black folks in a minute. I want to really talk to the family. I really want to talk to the family. But the thing is, this dude's a pathological lie. He tried to lie on Ola. He did I didn't watch his whole stream the other night because when I saw some of the shit he was talking about, okay, I'm like, he's just talking crispy shit. I cut that shit off. I didn't even listen to all of it because he ain't got no argument. When you start using crispy talking points, you ain't got no argument. When you wrote a book about pimping, the minute somebody says Tariq wrote a book about pimping, they ain't got no argument right there. Right there, you about to hear a whole bunch of straw man bullshit. If you hear somebody say some shit, well, he wrote books about pimping and macking, that means they got no goddamn argument. They got nothing. So they just building up some straw man bullshit right there. My dude's a pathological lie. I'm not going to sit up and just keep debunking every lie this nigga says. I'm a descendant of Frederick Douglass. I'm a descendant of Florida Evans. I'm a descendant of Gladys Knight. I'm a descendant of Ronald McDonald. Boyce said some shit. His whole thing now, he's talking about how he made Hidden Colors pop off, how he didn't know what the movie was about. He said he didn't know what the name of the movie was until after the movie came out. He didn't even know the name of the movie. You dig? And I'm like, what was the purpose of that lie? I'm like, what was the purpose of that fucking lie? That's just a bold-faced lie. Almost implying that he came up with the term Hidden Colors. The way he was sounding, I'm like, where's that lie going? What's that lie? Where are you going with that lie? And Ola hit me up like, Ola was like, hey, you know I got receipts. I got emails I sent this nigga. Ola sent me the email. We got the email. In the email, and I posted it on Instagram. Hey, Ola sent an email to him and other people because we were looking for other people too. It wasn't just him. That was another thing. He was making it seem like he thought it was just going to be him in the movie. And Ola was like, hey, we got a movie working on with Tariq Nasheed called Hidden Colors, the untold story about Moors and Aboriginal people of African descent. And these are the things we're talking about. We even had a list of everything that we're talking about in the movie. I had the movie already written out. And then he responded, yes, I'm very interested. That nigga was thirsty. Yeah, he wasn't doing shit else. What the fuck was he doing? He wasn't doing shit. So we posted the receipts and proved again just another lie, just another one of his fucking lies debunked. I mean, this nigga, he's the type of nigga, he's trying his best to deflect. Somebody said, why was Tim Wise involved? I gave Ola a list of people. It was a whole long list of different people that we wanted in the movie. Tim Wise was one of them, because back then I thought Tim Wise was very thorough. He wasn't in the movie, but we sent him an email because we were going to try to get him in the movie. When I was with Dr. Welsing, I had a conversation with her. God bless her. That is my beloved queen mother. Love her to life. Love her to life. Rest in peace. And Dr. Welsing told me that Tim Wise was kind of shitting on her a little bit. She said Tim Wise, dissed her, said that Dr. Welsing's work was psychobabble bullshit or something like that. So he immediately, I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking with him. No, I'm cool. When she told me that, no, that's it. Yeah, when Dr. Welsing told me that, it don't nah. If you disrespect one of the elders like that, nah, you gotta go.
Cause you niggas think this shit is a game, right? So, really, in reality, we ain't tripping. In reality, so y'all come on with the come on, my nigga. Y'all come on with the come on, my nigga.
What the fuck's that?
It's my lucky crack pipe.
You a crazy motherfucker.
You don't have a lucky crack pipe?
Come on, my nigga. Come on with the come on, my nigga. And we got many more. We only got 2 hands. We can't hold everything. Gonna teach you motherfucking niggas a lesson. This is one of the many cases. You wanna keep playing? You wanna keep playing, my nigga? You wanna keep playing, my nigga? Come on with it.
My lucky crack pipe.
You wanna keep playing, my nigga?
You don't have a lucky crack pipe?
This shit is real, my nigga.